Blumhouse and Universal's Five Nights at Freddy's 2 brings the animatronics back for another frightening adventure, and it greatly increases the number of them. The first Five Nights at Freddy's had 8 animatronics, bringing in many of the most iconic ones from the video game series. But with the introduction of another Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, the sequel can introduce many more. All in all, there are 17 animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Some play major roles in the story, while others are merely Easter eggs for viewers to catch. The result is many versions of Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy, as well as some returning mechanical suits and brand new ones. Below is a list of all the animatronics Five Nights at Freddy's 2 manages to include. The Marionette. Paying off the tease from Five Nights at Freddy's credits, the sequel introduces the Marionette, also known as the Puppet. A signature piece from the 1982 Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria location, this is the animatronic that Charlotte's soul bonds with. She's trapped at the location for 20 years before the sequel's events. There are also miniature versions of the Marionette featured in the movie, acting as piranha in the 1982 location's river and tearing apart anyone who falls in. The Marionette is extremely powerful in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It can possess vulnerable humans and wirelessly control the toy animatronics, which aids its plan to free them all from the perimeter lock. Its only known weakness is the music box made by Charlotte's father, Henry Emily. And with it possessing Vanessa in Five Nights at Freddy's 2's ending, the Marionette story will continue. Toy Chica. One of the signature animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is Toy Chica. The relic from the 1982 location plays a pivotal role in the sequel, as it is the animatronic that Abby primarily interacts with. She believes that it contains the same child soul from the first movie, but it really is a vessel for Charlotte. Toy Chica is responsible for murdering Abby's teacher, Mr. Berg, and tricking the younger Schmidt into helping the animatronics escape the original location. But this newer model is ultimately destroyed. All the toy animatronics have these shinier, plastic exteriors rather than the softer, fuzzier shells that the later models received. Toy Freddy. Toy Freddy has a smaller, but still important, role in the sequel. The robot comes into the picture once the perimeter lock is removed and begins traversing the town during Fazfest to kill parents, as Charlotte wishes. Freddy is shown breaking into a family's house to kill the parents, but the franchise icon is stopped by Vanessa. The bear is also destroyed in the movie's climax. Toy Bonnie. Another minion of the Marionette, Toy Bonnie also breaks free of the 1982 location to kill parents. The Blue Bunny animatronic is about to kill a mother and child when the wireless connection to the Marionette is originally severed. Toy Bonnie returns to the Schmidt house at the very end, but it is also out of commission by the time it all wraps up. Mangle. Rather than include a toy Foxy, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 includes a variant model with Mangle. The movie explains that the 1982 location turned the animatronic into Pull-Apart Foxy as a way to give the restaurant a different sort of attraction. Foxy's mangled appearance decades later spotlights how unkind this transformation was to the animatronic. Mangle is deployed by the Marionette once Vanessa leaves the original location, as it attacks her while she's driving. The remnant of the Fox animatronic is pulled apart further by the conclusion. The first movie's Freddy, Chica, Bonnie and Foxy. The fates of the versions of Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy from the first movie are left up in the air for much of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They have disappeared and are believed to be destroyed, but the trusty animatronics come back for the sequel's grand finale. Each of them arrives at the Schmidt residence and dispatches their toy counterparts. This proves to be the last thing they will ever do, as they traveled too far away from the last Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria location, draining them of what life they still had. The kid souls in each pass on. Balloon Boy. The 1982 location also allows Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to introduce another, bigger version of Balloon Boy. The animatronic was used sparingly in the first movie, primarily for comedic jump scares. But after a toy-sized appearance there, a full robotic version is now featured. Still, Balloon Boy doesn't have a major role to play in the sequel. Perhaps that will change in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Withered Freddy, Chica, Bonnie and Foxy. In addition to the toy versions of the franchise's main animatronics, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 uses the 1982 location as a chance to include another variant. The basement of the building holds old, decaying, and heavily damaged suits for Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. These versions of the pizzeria's icons are known as withered animatronics in the Five Nights at Freddy's games. They made their debuts in the sequel video game, so the movie franchise stays true to the source material with their introductions here. Withered Freddy, Withered Cheek, Withered Bonnie, and Withered Foxy are unleashed to go after Mike when he's in the security room trying to disable the Marionette's wireless control abilities. Circus Baby. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 also includes a Circus Baby animatronic, albeit in a different way than the rest. Vanessa dreams to confront the trauma William often caused, and she's treated to a nightmared memory at home with her father. When she runs to hide from him, the child version of Vanessa winds up in a room with Afton's various designs. This includes a brief shot of a fully built circus baby animatronic. This robot is the main villain of the sister location video game and contains the soul of William's daughter, named Elizabeth Afton in the game. The original movie included a circus baby Easter egg, too, so the appearance of a finished version of the animatronic positions the franchise to explore it further, possibly even hinting at Vanessa's ultimate fate. Shadow Bonnie. One of the blink-and-you'll-miss-it moments included is Shadow Bonnie's appearance in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. When Mike is in the security room and keeping an eye out for the withered animatronics, he's startled by a shadowy version of Bonnie that disappears after the light flickers. This was, in fact, Shadow Bonnie, a ghost-like version of the animatronic also known as Rukavsvask in the game. Originally only an Easter egg in the second video game, RXQ has gone on to appear in many other installments. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 sticks close to the game by including the Shadow Bonnie cameo here.